Welcome to the Pew.
Welcome to the Pew, the frozen
pop extravaganza.
It's so good. It's so good.
So, prison memories. A lot of our viewers send in questions about prison.
Yes. Yes. Oh. Yes, they do. And where are they?
If only Michael could find them. And he spends hours rifling through questions.
Richie Fierce, I guess that's his real name, wants to know if we have any nightmares of being in prison, and is there anything we miss about it?
Well, I miss the fact that I don't have to work to survive. I mean, you get 3 square meals a day. The food was actually good where I was.
I missed that.
I wasn't where you were. I was in a really nice place. But the food was really good, and I made some really good friends. I miss a lot of my friends from there. But I don't miss the isolation, because that's the thing, is that you're isolated.
Well, you weren't so much isolated because you were in a medium, weren't you?
Still in the middle of nowhere.
No, but I mean isolation like...
No,
isolation.
I was in a camp. So it was really federal camp, which is nice. It's not, no matter what anybody says, it's not a country club. Don't get that. That's
Club
stupid. But compared to what you were going through, it was all right. But of course, you killed somebody. I didn't do anything. So there you go.
Yes.
I just associated with you.
Well, that
a crime in itself.
Right.
Trevor.
So they said.
Trevor Maloney wants to know if we have any tips for surviving, for getting by in prison.
Yeah, the biggest tip for surviving and thriving, by the way, is respect. Learn to respect the people around you for who they are, and don't fuck with anybody.
And don't borrow something and not pay it back.
That's for sure.
Yes.
Hold doors for people. This is so good. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was treated.
Be a good cook for people.
I didn't have to cook. I had people cooking for me.
But the cooks, people protect the cooks because they cook for people.
Yeah, you were in a maximum security
Well, some people might argue that the reason a lot of people in prison end up in prison is because they don't respect, other people, or they don't respect the law. So it's interesting that you've got to do that in prison.
Right. Well, it's one of the things you have to learn.
There was no sex for an entire year for me. I mean, you were gay and you had a lot of sex. I didn't have any sex. But then again, I was married twice, so I was used to having sex. No, but on the street.
All right, we'll be back shortly.
I was married twice in prison.
We'll be back.
2 prisoners.
And now a word from our sponsor.
What's in, what's out, what it's all about. I know what the kids are like. What's good, what's bad.
Welcome back to the Pew.
Welcome back.
Welcome back for the Frozen Pew.
So, I'm here with 2 nightlife luminaries who, Michael can't go out at all because he's on parole and it's forbidden, and Steve doesn't really go out that much anymore.
Because I'm old. I'm ancient.
You're not that old. You're still younger than the Baroness Sherry when she used to come to your
We have the same birthday, by the way. We're both born
And
February
doesn't she
2nd.
still go out? I heard
So in the spirit of the Baroness, you should be going out.
In the spirit of the Baroness and Groucho Marx.
So why don't you go out more?
I don't go out that much because I
feel really tired
I pick my spot. No, I'm up all day and all night. I pick my spots. I go to Kay Von Zandt parties. I'm a religious
And you were
follower.
DJing for a while.
I DJ a lot.
Hotel
But I like rock and roll clubs, and not as many rock and roll clubs as I like.
Whose
I
fault is that?
It's probably mine. But I can't run clubs anymore, so I don't. But I do go.
Wait a minute, you can't run?
I'm not allowed to run.
You're not allowed to run. Forever?
No, I could get it cleaned up in a minute, I think.
Couldn't you be like a creative consultant?
No. What I have to do is just literally go to a court and get a certificate of relief of civil disability, which, from what I understand, my lawyer says they'll give it to you in 10 minutes. But you got to It's not that hard to get. You just have to lay it out. You've been a good citizen for so long, and etc. But I haven't done it. I really don't have the desire. In fact, I kind of don't want to. So maybe that's it. I'm old enough to.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work doing what we do.
Let the younger crowd do it.
It's a lot of work.
But I like building them. I design them, and I can design good room, and I like seeing it work and watching how the people do it. And I watch these people work like crazy there.
And you can design them in a way that will make them.
I'm using my vast experience.
Wasn't Good Room just featured in the New York Times?
I don't know. I'm not following them like that. But maybe. I mean, I think so. I think
Last week,
I heard something like that. But I don't read my own press.
Okay.
So thank God.
You don't read your own press.
I don't.
I
write my own press, but I don't read it. But I'm starting to write for Black Book again. I think starting next week. Also.
Oh, I didn't know you stopped.
I stopped. I got too busy. About that before. Busy. I've been too busy, and I just didn't have time for it. It's just
because that's sort of what I've turned into doing. I've been writing for Gay Times and the New York Post.
Well, we have an interesting perspective, both of us. So I think people like to read what we have to say about certain things, trends, and all that.
And speaking of trends, we have a commercial coming up.
No, we don't. This is part 2.
Isn't it?